I'm Marvin. On this new playlist, I will explore contemporary art, philosophy, and politics, not through hot takes, but through clear questions, careful reasoning, and real conversations. You'll find short explainers on ideas and artworks, plus student-friendly discussions that connect culture, ethics, and current events. I'm also building a political interview series with students and young voices. If you're interested in joining a conversation, whether you agree or disagree, you can participate remotely through an online interview through Zoom or Google Meet. To request an interview, email me at this email with your name, topic, interests, and availability. Subscribe if you want thoughtful, honest discussions about how we see the world and how we should live in it. I don't think this is good audio. Okay, this is interview number 1. What's your name?
My name's Nathan.
Your age?
I am currently 15.
Your race?
I'm Asian American.
Religion, if any?
Christianity.
I see. This is unnecessary, but GPA, if you feel free to answer.
4.0 weighted by the school.
Okay. First question. Michael Jordan makes lots of money. He makes so much money to the point where he doesn't need most of it. Do you think it is right for the government to forcefully tax Michael Jordan of his money to give to the poor and homeless?
Yes. I do believe that people should be compensated for hard work and achievement, but I do also believe that people who have more privilege and opportunity should be contributing more to society.
But you don't think that the homeless people, you think they deserve the money?
I think people have dignity, and all people deserve to be able to live a lifestyle in which they are afforded the dignity that they deserve.
So you're basically just saying that it would benefit the most people if the government taxed Michael Jordan of his money, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it is a direct violation of Michael Jordan's rights as an individual?
I don't know. I mean, Michael Jordan agrees to the social contract, does he not? He agrees to pay taxes and receive the benefits of living under the government.
But that's only because he is living in the United States.
I mean, there are other countries that he could immigrate to with the amount of wealth and everything that he has. He could immigrate to the UK.
Yeah, that's true. So you're basically just saying, how would you respond to the objection that taking money from Michael Jordan is a direct violation of his rights?
It's not a violation of his rights, I would argue.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, if you take his money, you take his time and labor, and if the government takes his labor, it's a form of basically slavery.
What?
Well, not slavery, but forced labor. So
it's not forced labor. Michael Jordan can stop whenever he wants. I mean, the capitalistic system kind of forces people to always be working, but people still have somewhat of a choice in where they work. Yes, there are problems with it, but I do not know if there are any better alternatives.
So you basically just, you're saying that if something benefits the most amount of people, you should do it regardless of how much it affects the individual?
There's always caveats. I agree. I think in this case it's all right because if you taxed Michael Jordan more, it wouldn't really make his life that much worse.
Yeah.
I still believe that individuals should have a reward for their achievements, but I do believe that it wouldn't really punish him to take too much of his. It really wouldn't punish him to tax him more.
Yeah. But so this is Michael Jordan we're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. It benefits the most amount of people, right? That's the main principle here. But if we have another case, right? So you probably heard this one before, but say 4 people are on a boat. There's the captain, 2 crewmen, and a cabin boy. A storm hits the ship, right? And then they have to flee on a small boat. They eventually run out of food, and then the cabin boy gets sick from drinking salt water, right? They get sick. Now, the other 3 crewmen starving, well, they decided to eventually eat the cabin boy, right? To survive. They needed to survive. Now, one of them suggested to draw lots, right? Draw lots to see who died. But then in the end, they didn't draw lots and just ate the cabin boy. When they eventually got rescued, they were tried, and I'm pretty sure they went to jail or something. But do you think that, like, what's the right thing to do? Not kill the cabin boy, eat the cabin boy, or draw lots and eat the person who lost?
Ideally, it would have been to wait for the cabin boy to die.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that.
If there were only the choice to either eat the cabin boy or draw lots, if they all agree to draw lots, then it's draw lots. If the cabin boy is willing, then it's the cabin boy. And if no one is, and if someone has to be eaten, but no one agrees, then the cabin boy is the best option because that is the one that preserves the most life.
He's the weakest, right? So
yeah, but that is a cruel.
Yeah, but so there's also a quote by the captain. The captain, I think he wrote a book. He said when they got rescued, they were something along the lines of quote unquote leisurely eating breakfast. That means they had they didn't care for the cabin boy anymore. So do you think with that new information, do you think it was okay to eat the cabin boy if their main priority, the 3 of them, were to survive?
Leisurely eating breakfast, man. Where'd they get the breakfast? Did they have breakfast and decide
the cabin
to eat
boy. They were eating the cabin boy, you know. And
I mean, on
the
hindsight,
captain described it as kind of leisurely, you know. So, do you think in that case, where it benefits the most amount of people, what the 3 crewmen did and the captain was still right, morally right?
in hindsight, no. But I mean, practically, if you're in that situation, you'd have to probably eat the cabin boy for a guaranteed shot at survival.
Well, yeah, that's true. So survival is above all very important, right?
It's very important, but I feel like people people define what is important to them. I mean,
so we could just draw the statement that human life is very precious, so precious that if any life were to be lost, you want to minimize the amount of lives lost, right?
Generally, but there's always caveats. You can't really make broad statements like this without having some cooked examples.
Okay, well, thank you. That concludes our first interview. Okay.
Yeah.